The battle of the billionaires between Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk and Richard Branson looks set to finally blast its first people into space next year. Speaking at the Next Generation Suborbital Researchers Conference, NSRC, Jeff Ashby, a former NASA astronaut who is Director of Safety and Mission Assurance for Jeff Bezos' space firm Blue Origin, said the firm is now a year out from human flights. It comes as Richard Branson claimed in October he will travel to space on his Virgin Galactic craft within 6 months. Elon Musk is also expected to reveal the launch schedule for a manned version of his Dragon capsule that will ferry astronauts to the International Space Station under a NASA contract. Blue Origin's test site in West Texas saw the most recent launch last week, when version 2.0 of its crew capsule, outfitted with the large windows that are a distinctive feature of the spacecraft, took off. The capsule carried 12 experiments as well as a test dummy, dubbed Mannequin Skywalker, to measure the environment a human would experience on those flights. The test flight was the first performed under a launch license awarded by the Federal Aviation Administration in August. You have to be licensed in order to collect revenue, Ashby told the Next Generation Suborbital Researchers Conference, according to Space News. So last week was the start of a revolution. It was our first revenue flight for payloads, a huge historic moment for us. We're probably a year and a half, 2 years out from when we're actually able to fly tended payloads, Ashby said, which will see astronauts working with experiments on missions. Jeff Bezos' space tourism project with Blue Origin is competing with a similar program in development by SpaceX, the rocket firm founded and run by Tesla CEO Elon Musk, and Virgin Galactic, backed by Richard Branson. While Bezos' reusable rocket New Shepard has launched 7 times, with 6 successful landings, Musk has re-landed 20 reusable Falcon 9 rockets over the past 2 years. SpaceX launched its 18th successful flight of 2017 last month, already more than doubling last year's tally of 8. New Shepard rockets are suborbital and only use a single stage, meaning they are fully reusable, according to Blue Origin. Falcon 9 rockets are split into 2 segments, with only the first stage flying back to Earth, making them only partially reusable. Richard Branson has claimed he will go on a trip to space with his company Virgin Galactic within the next 6 months. The billionaire mogul also said he expects Elon Musk to win the race to Mars with his private rocket firm SpaceX. The comments come just 3 years since Virgin Galactic's catastrophic crash, which killed 1 pilot and injured another, and suggest the company is on target for its goal to send tourists into space by the end of 2018. So far, more than 700 potential customers, including celebrities Brad Pitt, Katy Perry and Ashton Kutcher, have reserved a spot on one of the suborbital trips at a cost of $250,000, £200,000 each. spaceship will carry 6 passengers and 2 pilots. Each passenger gets the same seating position with 2 large windows, one to the side and one overhead. A climb to 50,000 feet before the rocket engine ignites. Passengers become astronauts when they reach the Kármán line, the boundary of Earth's atmosphere, at which point spaceship separates from its carrier aircraft, White Knight 2. The spaceship will then make a suborbital journey with approximately 6 minutes of weightlessness, with the entire flight lasting approximately 3.5 hours. We're about roughly a year out from human flights, depending on how the test program goes. Blue Origin has yet to start selling seats on New Shepard flights. We have not yet opened our website for tickets yet, and we won't do that until we're flying the versions of the rocket and capsule that people will ride on, to be delivered sometime next year, he said. But we think there's a lot of interest. Blue Origin last week released footage from inside its reusable space capsule, flown successfully for the first time this week. The Crew Capsule 2.0 reached orbit and returned to Earth with a test dummy strapped into it called Mannequin Skywalker, who can be seen taking a dizzying ride into space before returning back to Earth. Writing on Twitter, he said, "Unlike him, you'll be able to get out of your seat during the zero-G part of the flight." The capsule's roomy interior includes seats for 6 travelers, who will be treated to views from the largest windows in space when the firm begins commercial flights. Launching from Blue Origin's West Texas launch site, Tuesday's test featured the latest version of the firm's reusable New Shepard rocket, its first flight in 14 months. In October, Bezos said Blue Origin will take tourists into orbit within the next 18 months. The company isn't yet taking reservations or publishing its ticket prices, with would-be riders forced to wait until the firm completes its tests. At the end of the video, the firm teased in big letters, "Ready to fly." In addition to the dummy, yesterday's 10-minute test flight carried 12 commercial, research and educational payloads within the crew capsule, Blue Origin said. The capsule offers 530 cubic feet, 15 cubic meters, of space, large enough for passengers to float freely and turn weightless somersaults. Complete with windows and our instrumented test dummy. He had a great ride. Blue Origin suborbital New Shepard launch system consists of a rocket and capsule designed to fly payload and passengers to about 100 kilometers, 62 miles, above the planet. Musk says the mission will skim the surface of the moon, go quite a bit further out into deep space, and then return to Earth. However, he has refused to reveal who the two paying tourists are. SpaceX is to launch a private mission on a journey to circumnavigate the moon and return to Earth. Liftoff will be from Kennedy Space Center's historic Pad 39A near Cape Canaveral, the same launch pad used by the Apollo program for its lunar missions. The mission will use one of SpaceX's Dragon capsules, which will be modified to allow communications in deep space. The Dragon will be capable of operating autonomously throughout the whole flight, but the passengers will be trained in emergency procedures. Test flights with crew members aboard are expected to begin next year. Every seat on the flight will have access to a large window, which the company says is made of multiple layers of fracture-tough materials. The capsule then separates from the booster to coast quietly into space. After a few minutes of free fall, the booster performs an autonomous rocket-powered vertical landing, while the capsule lands softly under parachutes, both ready to be used again.